Alright, Spartan Laughlin, here we go. Right off the bat, you need to jump a wall to even start the race. Once you jump the wall, this is where you're going to start doing chants and getting all pumped up for the race and getting ready to go. As soon as the race starts, you just be careful with the people around you. You don't want to trip over anybody or hurt anybody. So be really mindful of what's going on around you. 4-foot walls are really easy, but you know, if you need help, just get someone to help you out. This shot kind of shows you how easy this race was. It was like very straightforward, so if you're barely starting out, this would be the race for you. Hurdles are not that hard, but it's really difficult for people that are short like me. So just go by the edge and like kind of hold on to the structure support, so that way you can get a little help with it, or have a friend help you out. If you don't want to carry water with you, they'll have water stations every mile and a half. The inverted wall is not the easiest obstacle, but hardly anybody ever fails this obstacle, so tread lightly when you're doing this one. Make sure you're really careful when you're coming down the other side. A lot of people roll their ankles like right there. The mud pit was just really only water. There's no mud really going on. It was really simple. There's no way you could ever fail this. So that's my buddy Justin. Hi, Justin. The slip wall on this race was super easy because it wasn't wet at all. It was actually kind of fun going up this wall. The trick for this obstacle is just to make sure you lean back the whole time you're going up. Dunk wall is like super easy too, very straightforward. All you gotta do is get in the water and go underneath the wall and come out the other side. Most of the time they also actually have a photographer on the other side, but this race they didn't have it for some reason. If you're wearing eyeglasses, sunglasses, make sure you keep track of that stuff, because a lot of times you just drop them there. And if you see a Spartan in need, make sure you help them out. The Hercules hoist is another difficult one. If you don't have the upper body strength to pull this thing down, it's going to be a pain in the butt. What I like to do is pull the rope down and then step on it, so I like give myself a little break. Once you get the bag all the way to the top, you want to make sure you lower it slowly, hand over hand, because if you actually drop it, they will make you do burpees for this one. Barbed wire, another really easy one as well. All you gotta do is go underneath the barbed wire and come out the other side. You can crawl like me, or you can roll like the guy on the right. If you roll, make sure you switch sides halfway between. Pipe layer is another really easy one. Just make sure you are careful where you're putting your feet and take your time. And make sure you're not like me worrying about this camera, because I actually did the whole thing, and at the very end you'll see I don't even touch the bell. Here we have another barbed wire. It's super simple. Just make sure if you're going to roll to, again, switch sides, or you're going to get super sick. This here just happens to be the biggest cell that we actually did that day, and it was super simple. Now we have the bender. This just happens to be one of my favorite obstacles. It's so much fun to do. If you have problems getting up, get someone to give you a spot, or when you're coming back down, you can use the rail to slide your foot down, so that way you're not as scared when you're coming down. But awesome obstacle. Here you can see me about to use the rail, and at the last minute I changed my mind, but it's totally doable. Now the monkey bars, you think it'd be super simple, but sometimes they put the bars kind of far away from each other, and that's what makes it super difficult. And I have a phobia of falling down and hurting my ankles, because I always hurt my ankle on this thing. Now the sandbag carry, this obstacle is a little bit difficult, but as long as you can hold the weight on top of you, you'll be fine. The loop wasn't that long, so I actually think I jogged a little bit of it, because it was kind of easy. Here's Justin finishing up his loop. You could totally tell that it was easy for him. I mean, look at his face. When you have a hard time on this, you will know at the end. It's like super difficult. Now we have the Atlas carry. I mean, it's not the easiest, but it's so doable. This guy that just took off, he's actually putting it on his shoulder. I thought that you had to carry it in front of you. They used to have you do burpees at the end, like 10 burpees, but they stopped doing that now. I don't understand why. The A-frame's another like super simple one. Like you cannot fail this one. All you have to do is make sure that you have 3 points of contact at all times, and you're not holding a camera in your hand and you can fall down or anything. But it's super easy. Anyone can do this one. And when you get to the top, make sure you take in the view and enjoy yourself. When you get over the obstacle, you can come down the right way like Justin's doing here, or you can come down the wrong way like I'm doing here. The infamous spear throw. So many people fail this obstacle, but not today, baby. Not today. I got this. Look at that. Nice. Slow-mo. I didn't get video of this, but there's so many people doing burpees behind me right now. And this obstacle, I was too short to reach the ring, so I had to use the box for the girls. That kind of sucks, but yeah, what are you gonna do? My technique is not the most graceful, but hey, it got me across, right? This transition right here from the bar to the rings is always really difficult for me, but I was able to do it today. Make sure you ring that bell. The Z-Wall is actually kind of easy, but if you have wide shoes, it'll be really hard for you to put your foot down on the holds. Going around the corners is probably the most difficult part of this obstacle. And the bucket brigade. I hate this obstacle. They used to not have lids on the cans, so you will always drop the rocks, but now they have lids and you gotta kind of put it on your shoulder. The box. This is another difficult one, but you can do it if you get some help. The trick to this one is to grip the rope with your feet and then pull yourself up. I am not good at this, so Justin here is going to help me in a second. Stairway to Sparta is another really fun obstacle. If you can't jump that high, just get someone to give you a boost and you get over right away. A-thru wall is not that difficult, but when you're short, it's really hard to get up that high or pull yourself up that high. What I do is I jump up and then I put my foot on any of the buckles there and I give myself a little foothold to get over the wall. When you come back down the other side, you can actually use the buckles again to lower yourself down. Or you can jump, but I'm not going to do that. Olympus is another really hard obstacle, if not the hardest obstacle that we have here. You'll see in a bit when I'm doing it, I could do it for maybe 2 or 3, but then I really need help and Justin helps me out a lot on this one. Beaters is not that difficult, but sometimes they spread the bars so far apart that I actually have to go on the side of it and kind of skip it a little bit. You'll see right now. Vertical cargo is also another one that's difficult for short people. Your legs always go underneath the platform. The way I did it, I just went to one of the bars, like right there, and then I kind of pulled myself over. Twister is really hard as well, but you just got to have really good timing when you're coming across. It's going to be spinning the whole time. Rope climbs are another one of those obstacles that a lot of people fail. It's really difficult to pull yourself up like this. Rope climbs are another really difficult obstacle. I've done it in the past, but this time I wasn't that lucky. I could barely hold on. And here I could not hold myself up anymore and I totally fall down. Thank God I had gloves on. If it wasn't for this obstacle, I would have actually completed every single obstacle for this race, but I missed one. A helix, another easy one. You just gotta take your time and be patient. If you need someone behind you to like kind of hold you up, then you know it's okay. Here, Justin is telling me like other spots where I can put my feet. Also, he'll like if he sees that I'm struggling, he'll like get behind me and give me a hand. And finally, the fire jump. Make sure you don't get yourself burned and finish strong. Once you finish the race, you'll have a line here for like taking pictures of the backdrop. You'll be able to get some snacks to eat for after the race. This is where you collect your medal, finishing medal, your t-shirt. You also get, you have to turn in your tracker as well. overall, this race was really easy. I think I only missed one obstacle. If you think that it's going to be difficult for you, make sure you sign up super early. That way you'll start in the morning and you'll have plenty of time to finish.